So in a way, whatever you will come up with will enable people like me to continue our work, which is to think of solutions for development challenges of countries like Nepal. There is still today about 1 billion people who do not have access to energy. And in Nepal alone, about 15% of the population does not have access to energy. And that is already the result of huge progress over the last 15 years in terms of providing access to energy. But there's still a long way to go. Now, it's not easy, but it is not impossible. Right? And energy, because precisely of the importance of it, is one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which you have listed here on this panel. And to me, it's number 7, not by chance, because number 7 puts it at the center of the 17. Not exactly center, I'm bad at math, but not that bad, okay, I know. But still, it's somewhere in the middle, right? So in a way, it symbolizes how critical it is, because without energy, without achieving SDG 7, forget about achieving the other ones. It will just not work. You need energy for all the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. So this is critical. Now, a lot of people have said when the SDGs were launched 2 years ago now, oh, it's mission impossible. It's all very good and fancy ideas, but it's mission impossible. It's going to cost way too much money. We now know how much it will cost. Right? And the achievement of the SDGs has been costed at about $5 trillion US. So a lot of people are saying, where are you going to find all this money? Well, there's much more money out there than is needed. The issue is, of course, that a lot of those SDGs are what we call public goods. They don't, by definition, make money. Well, that's a wrong statement. Because it has also been estimated that the achievement of the SDGs represents business opportunities that are estimated at $12 trillion. So what does that mean? It means that those enterprises, all those private sector, less government, but mostly private sector, that will start investing in areas that one way or another contribute to the achievement of the SDGs, there's $12 trillion to be made. Okay? So if you think of it, the way that is very easy to summarize what I've just said is that achieving the SDGs for a private sector company means doing good by doing well, because they ultimately will make money out of it. So this idea of linking social entrepreneurship applied to energy, which is behind the Hult Prize this year, is very much a reality. You can all make a fortune if you find the right solution that will help providing access to energy for the people. So it's definitely worth the try. Now, there's been a lot of interesting statistics recently on this issue of energy and social entrepreneurship. And what we thought a few years ago that was impossible, today is more than possible, but it's profit-making. Who knows what country in the world this year relied exclusively on renewable energy for 300 days of the year? Any idea? I was shocked when I saw that in the news a few weeks back. It's not an industrial country. It's a country in Latin America that has for many, many years adopted what we call a green pathway to development. Understanding, because it's a small country, it doesn't have a lot of industry, it has a lot of natural resources. Okay, small country, a lot of natural resources, no industry, very similar to Nepal. Right? But because it has adopted this green pathway many, many years ago, Costa Rica, in Latin America, Central America, has been able to rely for 300 days of the year exclusively on renewable energy. Now, it's only 5 million people, you will tell me. Still. Right? And we all know a country like Nepal, just with the hydro potential, if well invested and well managed, not only could you rely on 365 days on renewable energy, but you could export and make a lot of money as a government with your neighbors by exporting renewable energy. Unfortunately, it's not working. Create so much enthusiasm among the students and among the faculty also that you will be looking forward to continuing. I'll end, and I'm sorry if I'm a bit long, by thanking again all the organizers and thanking the jury members who have agreed to spend some time. I know there are other participants, one of which I know very well, Busy Bee. I want to also thank them for, I won't tell you how I know Busy Bee, this is absolutely secret, so we'll not know anything about me and Busy Bee, but I know. And I look forward to visiting again. But thank you all for inviting us to be part of this very exciting experience here in Pokhara University. And I will be good, so I can use it, against TU and KU when I go back. And I support them next year. I'll tell them how Pokhara was much better than should be run in the university. So good luck to all of you. I will not be able to spend the whole day with you, but I'll come back this afternoon to listen to some of the final presentations. And of course, I'll be here for the awards ceremony. This is very exciting. Good luck to all of you. Namaste, namaskar.
दिनुनको लागि र केही शब्दहरू राखिदिनुको लागि म आजको हाम्रो यस हल्ट प्राइज इभेन्टका क्याम्पस डिरेक्टर हुनुहुन्छ सो उहाँलाई जोरदार ताली बजाउँ।
Respected chief guest, special guests, delegates from our media partner and incubation partner, delegates from UNDP Nepal, the title sponsor of our event, and our respected guests, the future entrepreneurs I see out there. Future entrepreneurs, right? Am I correct? Yes. Good to hear that. And one and all, a very warm good morning, everyone. So I remember how it all started. It started 3 months ago. I got a call from my brother on a morning, and he told me that you should apply for a Hult Prize because it happened in KU, and you should do it. I see that potential in you. And believe me, I had no idea what Hult Prize is. And okay, he sent me the link of the application. I just filled it up. Actually, a friend of mine filled it up. Even I didn't fill it up. Okay, my brother sees potential in me, so okay, let's look forward to it. Then after 1 week, I get the selection email. You are selected as a campus director. And now, here we are, on the final local rounds of Hult Prize at Pokhara University. So this is what I have learned in my entire journey of organizing it. That sometimes you don't need a concrete plan. I had no plan. I didn't even know what Hult Prize is. I had to research. I had to make 1 week study myself before organizing it. And then I could make you all come here right in this hall. We all organizers could make you come up here. So sometimes in life we just need to go with the flow. Flow is necessary. Not always concrete plans make sure you reach at the top. So that's what I've learned in this entire journey. And the last 3 months has been like a wonderful experience for all of us. Diksha and Ashish and all of the organizers. Believe me, it was like some days were so stressing. We felt like, are we backing out? Oh, we had so much of tired days and everyone, so much of disappointments. But then we were positive. We had to do this. We cannot back out. If we had back out, we could not see this mass today in this hall. And thank you to all the organizing committee who gave their 100% effort in making this event a success. And I hope that all those sleepless nights will be worth it. I hope one team from here will win the regionals. I really hope that. And moving on, this event would not have ever been possible without the support from the university itself. So all of the faculty, staff, teachers, and each and every person from our university, you are the backbone of this event. So thank you so much, everyone. And obviously, I would also like to thank UNDP Nepal, the sponsor of our event, and all the delegates of UNDP. I'd like to make some special mentions here. So Mr. Bisam sir is the youth program officer of UNDP, and he has been a continuous guidance to us because we have not been organizing, we don't have so much of experiences, but then he gave us continuous support and guidance in each and every step. So thank you so much, sir. And also Santi Karanjit ma'am, so she was the first person with whom we approached to the mail, and the continuous proposal was forwarded by her, so thank you for the initiation, ma'am. Also, all the other teams from UNDP Nepal. And how can I not mention our amazing judges? So thank you all judges for coming here, and I really know that we'll choose the best of the teams. And obviously, all the participants and the future entrepreneurs. So firstly, I'd like to congratulate all of you. You deserve a congratulations.
Thank you.
So anyone would like to ask why? Anyone?
Yes.
Okay. Because we are already winners, you know. Do you know how many students we have in Pokhara University? And it's 58 affiliated colleges.
No.
Okay. There are many thousands, I don't know even the exact number. And here you are, few hundreds. You are like piece. So you are already winners, like many thousands, you are the few hundreds. So you are already the winners. So congratulations to all of you.
Para rohna chahe basically हामीले धेरै support गरेको छ सो अहिले कुरामा हामी विद्यार्थीका प्रतिनिधिलाई Mr. Bhattrai स्टेजमा निम्न गर्न चाहन्छु र आज हाम्रो यस इभेन्टका क्याम्पस डाइरेक्टर कुसुम लाई उहाँलाई छिटो मतलब हस्तान्तरण गरिदिनुको लागि पनि अनुरोध गर्दछु. So are you ready with the competition? Please, if you are confused, talk to our event coordinators, make things clear, and go to your respective halls. So good luck, see you after a few hours, you know.
India, China, and USA. Earlier, he had worked as a researcher with Forest Action Nepal for more than 4 years. He had also worked with resilience at the base of the Himalayas. He is currently assistant professor of forest management at Institute of Forestry Pokhara campus and involved in different research related to forest management, agroecological resilience, disaster risk management, food security, ecosystem services, and livelihoods related research projects in Nepal. In addition, he is also one of the expert member at Green City Plan of Metropolitan. Please welcome Vikas Adhikari. Now I would like to begin the competition. Before that, I will read out the rules. Each team will be given 15 minutes, 10 minutes for pitching and 7 minutes for question and answer round. At least 5 minutes for question and answer round. At least 2 members should be present from the team. 1 member or all team members can pitch in front of judges.
And meanwhile, 300 tons of plastics were generated daily in the context of our country. As per my information, one ton of vitamin, 1 kg of vitamin costs ₹80 per kg.
So for constructing the 12 feet wide and 1 kilometer long road, we have to require 10 to 15 tons of bitumen. Instead of using 10 to 15 tons of bitumen, if we can construct the road by using the plastic of the 10% and the 90% bitumen, then it will be more influence. It will be more valid because the water absorption resistance of the water is the coated pavers will make the water resistance core, which will reflect the water vapor and will be long last. So mathematically, we have done
Our main aim is on environmental benefits. So it obviously the plastic will be recycled. So it obviously helps in the environment. Not only this, the rack pickers will also get employment opportunity. Meanwhile, we have already said the plastic roads are 3 times stronger than the bitumen road.
As well as we can store that electricity from there into the battery, and also we can light up or grow 3 bulbs for 3 hours of 3-watt LED bulb.
And it would be, the length and breadth would be 16 and 18 centimeter respectively. The volume of the water present in the ammonium coil would be 2088 cubic centimeter, which will pass through the which will pass through the chulo thoroughly. Also, the
Please welcome Team Metamorphose on the stage and to be at ready position.
Sources of energy, which is also cheap as well as affordable and clean also. If we could use them or operate them, they don't produce greenhouse gases or air pollution. They also don't have fuel cost, and we can easily scale up and down to either take the full advantage of very sunny spot in a desert or very windy side of.
When there is little demand and when at the peak time there is no wind or we face there is no wind, we need the energy, and energy is the
about the energy is concept on production of energy through available renewable resources. We have three members. It's me, Amrita Pokhara, leading the team, and
it's me, Vinay Pastova.
And our third member is not available here, over here. Our main theme is focus on the production of energy as a commercial process by the production of biomethane and bioethanol in dense population area. It basically focuses on dense area of different countries or dense area or cities in Nepal to like Pokhara, Kathmandu. Enclose environment-friendly sources of energy by reducing the health impact by non-renewable resources. Production of biodiesel and bioethanol. Here are the non-renewable resources by which we can get biodiesel and bioethanol from oil crops, sugar crops, starch crops, and cellulose materials.
Classified as the renewable source of energy. Some disadvantage of this process. If we know about this disadvantage and works for the solution of this disadvantage, we can convert it to the advantages by solving this disadvantage.
In a field and travels a mile day and night in a field, and also faces a lot of problems like lack of transport and market facilities, traditional farming, lack of proper irrigation system, poor economic condition, overpressure of manpower, and lack of research activities. We are focusing on lack of transport and market facilities. Because although he works day and night in a field, he faces a lot of problems like he has to travel miles to sell his product, and although he sells his product, he may not get the original price of the product as he has to sell the product to the mediator. If he sells the product to the mediator, then the mediator may add more cost of the transport, and the price of the product may rise. Price of the product may go high. If the margin between what the consumer gets from what the farmer gets from the produce and what the consumer pays for the produce is high, then the effective demand transport to the farmer will ultimately be reduced. It provides employment opportunity to 66% of total population. A lot of food are being wasted day by day, and in some places there is no provision of food, due to which there is scarcity of food and there is price hiking. Effect on poor. Almost half of the world, 3 billion people live in less than $2.50 per day, and more than 1.3 billion people live in extreme poverty in $1.25 per day.
The farmers to take their agro products is through by minute, which cost up to 15 to 18 lakhs. And we are estimating the cost of our solar carriers to be around 4 to 5 lakhs, which can be reduced by mass production as well, which may be less than 4 to 5 lakhs. And the disadvantages of mini trucks, and it uses fossil fuels as a source of which is non-renewable and costly. We all know that. And solar power, we will use solar power as our main source of fuel, which will be renewable and clean as well. If we see about fossil fuels, every now and then the price of the fossil fuels are going up and down. So, but our solar power is free of use. Our solar power is unlimited. Fossil fuel is limited. We can also use our solar power carriers as a temporary storage, which is not illegal.
Alright, the first finalist for today's event is from Group A for here we have second finalist A. We have second finalist is Team Dream. What's our next group? I'm sending to group U, A group, A group. A group winner, we have finalist winner for Biodiesel. So moving towards group B. So our third finalist for today's event is Team Hiti. Each team, finalist team को captain को अगाडि बोलाउन चाहन्छौँ. Each team को captain, team captain, please will you please come forward to bring this. So here we have the captains of our top 4 finalists for today's event.
As our officer, the CEO and founder of Hult Prize said, we can't break poverty by giving the poor access to clean water and energy. We need to focus on income generation. This saying has been the main motivation towards our idea, which we have named as Wastage. The concept of bringing revolution in clean energy by creating opportunities. Now, the main problem we seek on addressing is indoor-air pollution, but indirectly will also be addressing excessive use of pesticides in vegetables and poverty. Let me tell you a small story. In a small village of Kabre lived a woman in her mid-30s named Kavita, who used to work in others' farm for income generation. And like other people in the village, she also depended on firewood for cooking. So due to this prolonged exposure to insecticides, pesticides, and firewood, she was having different health conditions like asthma, lung infection. As a result, she died due to her lung cancer, leaving behind her 5-year-old son who was born with birth defect. Now, there are 3 billion Kavitas worldwide who use solid fuel. Over 4/5 of them are in low and middle income countries with same condition with different stories. In Nepal, around 70 to 75% population depend on solid fuel. On the other hand, Nepal uses 1.4 kg of pesticide per hectare in vegetable, which is higher than other countries like US, Europe, and other South Asian countries. Health hazard for farmers as well as consumers. And likewise, over 30% of Nepalese live on less than 14 USD per month, and overall poverty rate is 25% in Nepal. These are the problems. Now, the concept of process will be explained by my friends Tasma.
Thank you, Pragya. I will be continuing the story Pragya left. As a Hiti form or organization, we entered to a Kavita's village through a local trustable organization called Pokhara Primary Healthcare Center and organized a focus group discussion with community leaders, and later on agreed upon organizing a small training session to community villagers, including at least one adult member from each household. In the training session, we explained about health hazards associated with
with use of solid fuels as cooking fuel. We told them about, we took an example of Kavita, then assured them how we would help them to get out of this situation. We told them about our Haiti Fund, our project, its policies and activities, and how they can make a small investment from their side by giving certain amount of organic manure to us in return in every 3 months for a long run of 3 years, and in return we would make a big investment for them by constructing a biogas plant at their house.
And farming is an opportunity rather than a challenge. Our local groups and the partners facilitate us to the community to build trust among the people. Similarly, training and education session is conducted as mentioned earlier for organic farming and biogas. So what change can our project bring? It can bring a biogas revolution with the reduction in dependency on firewood by 99%. It will also help in meeting one of the targets of multi-sectoral action plan for prevention and control of non-communicable disease, which is 50% reduction in the dependency on solid fuels as a primary source for cooking. We would also like to help in fulfilling the aim of Nepal government to graduate Nepal from a least developed country into a developing country by the year 2022. So, through this project, we would like to change ourselves from normal human beings to superhumans by saving the life of such millions of Kavitas in the world. These are the references that we...
the existing method of growing vegetable using pesticides or whatever it is, now it exists in the market. So your idea, how does it compete with the existing idea? What's your plan? So to gain the market, you have to compete.
Nepal is one of the countries which uses a very less amount of insecticides, but in case of vegetables, as you have seen before the data, it uses insecticide in concentrated amount higher than other developed countries. So I think it's a hidden problem that Nepal government or other authorities haven't given enough attention. So rather than competition, we want to bring this problem in front of everyone. So regarding the competition, I think people have less knowledge about organic farming. There are many success stories about organic farming, which is organic farming is work intensive, but it is feasible. So I think people should be made aware about organic farming, and they should know that it's profitable. I think after that they will start taking organic farming as a better option than farming with use of excessive insecticides or chemicals.
You said that
and profit. I think you have linked the energy with the health and business model. Nice one. But I have some questions. You have added some other things in existing by this program of government. You know, it's a subsidy-based program. And it's individual-based. It's not group-based. You know, your project is community-based or individual-based.
And we are here to begin our presentation. About 50 to 90% of air pollution is contributed by automobile exhaust. And air pollution is one of the major public health problems that exist in our world today, because it accounts for about 3.7 million premature deaths worldwide. Like every problem that has a solution, we also have a solution to this problem as well, which already exists in the world, that is biodiesel. Our scientists have produced a biofuel that can substitute the conventional fuel, that is petrol or diesel. It is an alternative fuel, a renewable fuel, and a promising solution that is both sustainable and as well as scalable, which we are going to do. So why biodiesel? There are lots of benefits of biodiesel over the conventional fuel. That's the first and the very significant one is 74% of reduction in greenhouse gases compared to conventional fuel. The next is it is easy to use.
automobile engines, as it does not require any engine modifications in our existing automobiles, which is also a bonus for countries like ours, where we cannot afford any cost to displace a modified automobile engine. The next is renewable energy, and it also reduces the dependency of foreign oil supplies. Just imagine if our country could just replace every gallon of oil that we import every year. The most common complaint whenever we suggest biodiesel is, no, it is expensive. Yes, it is a fact. Biodiesel is 1.5 times more expensive than conventional fuel. But this is exactly where the prospect of our social business enterprise lies. The reason behind this, the reason why biodiesel is so much expensive is because a lot of input price is taken by price of seed collection and oil extraction, which is about 75 to 80% of the total operating cost. If we could reduce this cost to at least 40%, then we could provide our consumers with a renewable fuel that is long-lasting, efficient, and at a very competitive price. This is our brand, that is Bio Ultra Diesel, and we believe that we can produce 100% biodiesel and distribute it among our consumers in a very competitive price. Our team,
our main business strategy is to manufacture our own goods, and investigating on the land is one of the keys to our business. First of all, we take 1 hectare of land. We have estimated that 1 hectare of land can produce 3,000 kgs of soybean seeds, and 1 liter of biodiesel, pure biodiesel, is formed by 5.5 kgs of soybean, which is harvested. By Tolberg's calculation, we can see that 1 hectare of land can produce 545 liters of oil, which is great. 500 hectare of, we have estimated to take 500 hectares of land, which can yield 2.72 lakhs liter of oil, which is divided into two, which is that is because we harvest our soybean seed two times a year. And rupees 72 is the price of the biodiesel we are going to sell. We plan to sell it in rupees 72 per liter, whereas the cost of current diesel is rupees 75. We have reduced it by 4%. The total estimated revenue we calculated is 3.92 crore, and operation cost is 60% from the total revenue, whereas we can have the net profit of 1.5 crore. Next. So we get our money from two sources, revenue and byproducts. Revenue was calculated in the previous slide, and we could get the net profit as we saw that. And byproducts that are obtained are glycerin, which could be used in cosmetic industries, carbon dioxide, which could be commercialized and used as dry ice, ethanol, and soybean cakes mostly. I'd like to call it charcoal.
The slide you're seeing is issues that will reduce a lot of operational costs on the way. These are anticipated partners. We anticipate automobile companies, agriculture industries, NGOs, INGOs, and government to collaborate with us in making this project happen. Now the question remains, is the business sustainable, is it scalable? And the answer is yes, because looking at the facts that we all know that the demand of fuel is always ever increasing. So that is why demand, the greater the supply, the greater the demand, the greater is the supply. So our value increases with time, and ours is an ever expanding business that is both sustainable as well as scalable. This business has so many benefits that it could impact many sectors. Some of them are mentioned here: improved economic savior, energy security, and so on. Last slide. So this is what we'd like to do. For environment, what we'd like to do is by 2025, we want to ensure access to affordable alternative fuel to 10 million people. Yeah, that is all. Thank you so much.
So regarding usage, the issue that sustainable, okay, sustainable, but I want to raise the question about the competition. So you said that you will decrease the expense which is existing in the current scenario. So in my opinion, every company wants to decrease its cost by producing it in the lowest cost as possible and decreasing the length of supply chain and to disrupt the existing supply chain where we have a lot of wastage and a lot of unnecessary money is being directed. So in such kind of scenario, how does your own producing and your own that supply chain you said how can it be compared to the existing? So what is the unique selling point and what is the difference on that?
We have a lot of other resources from which we can count on for the revenue. For example, we can extract oil from different household, or we can extract refined cooking oil. We can use the refined cooking oil to produce biodiesel, and we have not even calculated those amounts there. So even if the demand chain or supply chain is disrupted, I think we have enough resources to make it sustainable.
I would say there is already an existing industry where they derive of oil and biodiesel they use on the soya. So how it is different from the existing? How do you does it compete with the existing industry where soya oil is extracted from oil or anything is extracted from the soya?
So our main purpose is not to sell the soybean oil. Our main purpose is to produce biodiesel oil. So what we are going to do is we are going to create our own manufacturing plant, and that is going to be our asset. We are not going to produce any extract oil from the soybean seeds and distribute it as our end product. Our end product is biodiesel, so we will use the soybean extracting plant as our asset. So I don't think that would that's like effect. I'm so sorry if I did not get your question.
Okay, I have many questions, but I will ask two. So what are the raw materials you are using apart from soybeans? That is one. And another is if you are using raw materials, or if you are harvesting this seed in a private land, you are leasing the land and you are harvesting that raw materials, then how can that be beneficial socially, or how can that be beneficial to the poor? Example. And another is in your sustainability or in your impact, you have mentioned that demand of energy is always greater than supply. So this project will reduce that. How? You are just in the fact it is greater, the demand is always greater than supply. Do you think that your project can meet that objectives? Will you be successful after implementing these projects?
Thank you so much, sir, but I would like to address the question reverse order because that's how I remember it. The last thing you mentioned, I think we mentioned the supply chain and demand chain based on the conventional fuel. By demand and supply, we meant that fuel, human beings demand fuel in large amounts. So no matter how much fuel we have on earth or maybe in our own farm, we cannot meet the demand of people. So that means the price, the value will increase. If you supply, if the demand is increasing, the value will increase. That is what we mean. If there is a great demand in the market, our value of that will increase. That is what we mean.
Calling from Mamalagi. Our third finalist, Portugal, right? So can we hear for this team? Can we hear for this team?
Everyone, today we, the 4 youth from NDHMC College, are here to talk about energy and ways to harness the energy. So first of all, what is energy? According to science, energy is the potential of physical physical components, which can later be derived into work if the form of the energy is changed. We can see different types of energy, nuclear energy, wind energy, hydropower energy, and there are many more. So, talking about harnessing the power of energy, harnessing means producing the energy in a very maximum level with a small amount of source. That means we are here to discuss about harnessing the power of energy and transforming the life of 10 million people. But we are also focusing this topic, focusing this topic on cooking. Focusing this topic on cooking. Okay, now I would like to call my friend to continue this.
Okay, thanks my friend. As you already discussed about the different forms of energy, right? Okay, so these are the different forms of energy, right? And this year's topic is about energy. So after we know about this challenge, we discuss about what best energy could we discuss in this project so that it will impact the lives of people before going through globally, before in our own country, focusing more on the rural part of Nepal. So now I would like to tell you a story. Why did we focus the energy for the purpose of cooking? When we knew about this challenge and we discussed that we will definitely focus on cooking energy. This is my friend Sudip. So we went to his village in Lamjung. It is quite remote, it's Kalan-based village. So in that area, what we found is like the landscapes is very slopey. Next slide. And what we found is like more people, they are dependent upon firewood for the purpose of cooking, which is not exactly the renewable energy source for cooking. That's why we thought about why don't we start something new so that it can help thousands of people in the rural area, so it will be easier access for them to consume energy. And so as this is a very hard struggle life that we found in remote areas of Nepal, and it just reminded me of one of my friends who was studying with me together up to class 7, but he had to leave his school and his studies behind because he had to focus mainly to help his family collecting firewood and doing other works of household. So I think that I'm quite privileged here to get this opportunity to come over here, and I have this potential because I have the privilege that I got my studies in urban part. So now we'll focus on
is good. Like the villages are understood and the plant is understood. But the pipeline, like when you connect the pipeline, will the another house will you give you the land to insert a pipeline in their house? Like there will be the physical, I think there will be the technical part is almost complicated.
So what we have said is it is a sustainable plan. So that when they directly connect to our mixing tank, I believe that in the villages to dispose their sewage, they only have smaller tank, like safety tank, but they don't have the access, like when it is completely full, like they can just empty it by in a single shot. So I think they can utilize our mixing tank as a great source so that it will be helpful for them to create an energy for themselves as well as giving us the input materials.
Officially, I'm going to contest the assistant minute time minutes. So, our last finalist, Team Drake. Namaste. So, Team Drake.
Namaste. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. And today we are here to present our own concept of smart energy, which is the combination of solar and electrical energy. And here is me, Samisha Singhal, and my friend Mr. Samdar Adhikari. Hello, everyone. And let's get to the introduction part. As we know, the Nepal is a huge country of water resources. By utilizing these water resources, we can generate electricity by the hydropower projects as well. And thus, the electricity various non-communicable diseases like lungs disease and various other cancer problem as well. And as we know, there is no fossil fuel generating.
Solar panel are connected to the connector and the power is transmitted to the power controller. The power controller controls the overall electric charges throughout the system. And similarly, we have the two packs of battery, or the battery pack 1 in the front side of the vehicle and the battery pack 2 in the rear side of the vehicle. And similarly, we have used two motors, that is the front motor and the rear motor. In our project we have used three types of switch. The first one is the mode switch, solar switch, and the power switch. Talking about the mode switch diagram, this is a auto gear system vehicle. That is, we can just operate in forward, neutral, and reverse gears only. And we have used two modes. That is the normal and power mode. We can run the vehicle in normal mode and power mode according to our need. And for this we have the mode switch. The mode switch contains a program, and in this program, if the battery charge is greater than or equals to 20%, then we can enable power mode. If the battery is less than 20%, in such case we cannot operate the vehicle in power mode. In such case, we have to operate in normal mode. Okay. And the next one is the solar switch. Sorry, power switch. The power switch is placed between the power controller and the battery pack 2. And the power switch operates in two different cases. The first case is if the battery pack 1 is full, then it shifts the source to battery. If the battery pack 1 is full, then it shifts the source to battery backup 2. And the second case is if the battery pack 1 is false. That means if there is failure in the first battery, then it also charges the second battery pack 2. And if in the normal case, it keeps the battery pack 1 charging. And the next one is the solar switch. The solar switch is used to notify the drivers whether the solar source is charging the vehicle or not. In such case,
benefit economically. Like the person who owns the car, he is personally benefited economically. Like others are indirectly, like there are the environmental and health point of view. But how the others' life is secured, like livelihood, how they can be engaged by doing that.
For individual,
there is a profit, your organization goes, the employers goes. But what for the rest? Like, are you going to
protect the citizens? Yeah. Okay, first car is charged automatically by the solar energy. That's it.
10 million people, and then you just give the technology. But can you scale up to this 480 people? Suppose go with some project like for the refugee or some kind of deprived peoples, then that will be really spread on big mass. But this kind of intervention, I don't think so, because the pressure we can put the car is like elite in our culture. So I think your idea is good, but is it scale up to this kind of 10 million people easily?
The auto gear vehicle easily, just like the scooter, isn't it? We use the women use scooter and we may use bike in our country. Just like the women can use the auto gear cars, so they will drive the vehicle easily and they will be empowered to drive the vehicle.
I'd like to request the whole team of Humanity to come up on the stage and receive a token of love from Kusum and Ishan.
University to come up on the stage. So here we have Dr. Engineer Keshav Smith, respected Alright, so the team who got third position in today's event is none other than Team 4 Girls. Congratulations, team.
Rohit and Mr. Vinay. Congratulations to them.
You should stay there.
So now we will announce the team who got second position for today's event, and the team is Team 4. Congratulations, and this is Preeti. Congratulations, Team 4. Please hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen. So we are at the moment to announce the winner for today's event, Hult Prize at Pokhara University. Most probably everyone is ready to listen the names. Are you? Yes. Alright, without taking any delay, the winner for today's event is none other than Team Hindi. Very big congratulations to them as well. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the winner for today's event, Team Hindi. Let me just wait for a few minutes because the letter of certificate of participation distributed by the associates. Better you come and join with us. We are thinking of this someone. We just even go winner the prize gave us. So once again, congratulations to all the team. Alright, we're gonna distribute your certificate of participation. Please do come up on the stage and receive it, please. Susan Paudel, Sudhir Bhatta, Sanish Shrestha, Atish Shakya, Vikas Manandar, Siddhasma Sharma, and I would like to request everybody, whoever, excuse me, can you just be here for a few minutes because all of you will take group pictures. So after you receive a letter, just be here for a few minutes. So Siddhasma Sharma once again, Pragya Pokhrel, Riha Shah, Rajiv Hazari, Raveen Nyokane, Mandeep Kaur,
Yadav, Ruchina Bagle, So Ruchina Bagle, are you here with us? If you are, please to come and collect your certificate. Hadi Bhushan, Suspita Acharya, Sushmita Acharya, Susma Paudil, please do come. Kriti Pokhara,